Not everyone who goes to Baxter State Park hikes, but almost everyone uses the trails. They are challenging and challenging to maintain. Now a team is putting together a survey of the park. It's a detailed survey of trails and all the structures such as bridges, culverts, and treadways. Jensen Bissell is Baxter State Park Director.
This will allow us for the first time in the park's history to really look comprehensively at all of our park trails and make long-term planning decisions that apply our limited resources in the most efficient way.
Some park trails are more than 100 years old, and these were put on Native American byways that date back centuries. The trails remain primitive and unimproved. They are acceptable pathways for wilderness travel, but they will often be steep, rocky, muddy, and rooty. We bumped into the Willette family of Saco, who hike here annually. They love the park, and oldest daughter Allie gave me a scouting report on these trails.
It's like you have to be careful where you walk, and it's not like something that's paved that you just walk straight and you don't have to look down. You have to look down at all times, look around you.
What's the worst bump you've gotten at Baxter State Park?
I'm not sure. I've gotten a lot of cuts on my knees, and I've gotten all kinds of bruises and stuff, but I'm not sure what's the worst.
Is it worth it?
Yes.
Pat Aldrich and Andy Pelletier are inventorying the entire 215 miles of Baxter Park trails. Using a data and GPS system called an Archer, they are recording the exact location and condition of every structure along the way. The program is funded by the Friends of Baxter.
It's been a cool experience. I got a hard time calling it work, really. It's a pretty good job.
On the Heelan-Taylor Trail, which was named by Governor Baxter himself, we stopped at a water bar that diverts runoff into Roaring Brook, thus protecting the trail. Andy assesses how erosion has affected the feature and gives it a 3, meaning it is solid for now, but could require attention in just a few years.
I see this as an ongoing, they will have other people coming back and doing this in the future, probably 5 years down the line. We're the pioneers, but they will be upgrading the system continually every 4 to 5 years.
Using a clinograph, Pat measures the pitch of some stone steps that were put in decades ago and improved when Paul Santacondro was an intern in 1996. Now he's the trail supervisor who makes the decision on the order in which trail structures will be repaired. This is the map that they are developing, and the data that accompanies it is a big step forward for the park.
We've always had an idea that it's a pretty vast backlog, but this is going to give us the facts and allow us to make better educated decisions upon how we prioritize and optimize our resources out in the field.
Field work satisfies these guys. In fact, Pat had an interesting experience this year when he was bluff charged by a 350-pound black bear.
One bear, yeah. I was hiking on Blueberry Ledges Trail and met a mother bear and her cubs, enjoying the berries, and she was going to let me know it. So she come at me a few times, twice actually, and it wasn't bad at all, worked out. Just do like they say in the park, make hand gestures and noises, and she walked away eventually, and I decided to do another trail that day.
Although bear encounters are rare, telling bear stories is almost frowned upon because they may be contributing to a new phenomenon in the park. It's funny, but it's serious. An emerging problem here at Baxter is human excrement. Now the rule is use the facilities or carry in, carry out. But if you have to go, get 200 feet off the trail, dig a hole, and bury it. Believe it or not, more and more frequently, people are going on the trail. Not good. Are bear stories causing people to be afraid to leave the trail? Who knows? Another problem is people who don't bring flashlights and get caught in absolute darkness. It's just the latest in a slowly changing series of problems for trail crews which are proud of their trail system and intend to improve it in the future.
I have met people in the past that have told me that they worked on the trail crew in the late 70s or the early 80s, and they were very emphatic at the fact that they worked on the trail crew. They're very proud of it.
Which proves as much as it stays the same, there's always something new. Trail maintenance procedures have changed slightly down through the years and are somewhat regional. The trail maintenance crew leaves a legacy and now a record that will be used by future generations.